Abram begins the spell of the Sensuous with an account of his experiences as a sleight-of-hand magician in Bali. During his time there, he discovered a profound similarity between himself and the indigenous shaman sorcerers, a shared ability to alter consciousness and perception at will. In Bali, this ability is employed to shift out of the common state of consciousness, to connect with other forms of sensitivity and awareness entwined with human existence. Abram learns to open his body and mind to the deliberate communicative signals from the other-than-human world, which is alive with meaningful messages, conveyed through cries, calls, songs, coloration, posture, and gesture. The shaman's communication with spirits is actually an engagement with the myriad other-than-human consciousnesses present in the actual world, as opposed to an imaginary transcendent realm. Upon returning to the United States, Abram noticed that his heightened awareness of these communicative signals grew dimmer. He attributed this decline to the transition from an oral culture in Bali to a literate one in the United States. In an oral culture, the richness of direct, sensory experience is paramount, while in a literate culture, written language and abstract thinking take precedence, dulling the immediacy, sensory perception, and connection with the natural world. Abram then transitions to a discussion of phenomenology, a branch of 20th century academic philosophy that is central to his project. Phenomenology emphasizes the primacy of immediate experience over unexperienced theoretical entities, such as molecules and atoms, proposed by Greco-modern science. It highlights the intersubjectivity and reciprocity of perception, challenging the solipsistic and passive views of Cartesian consciousness. Phenomenology also underscores the embodied nature of consciousness, acknowledging our animality, rather than viewing consciousness as disembodied. Language, from a phenomenological perspective, is a whole-bodied activity, rather than a mere relationship between a sign and its signified, as analytic philosophers suggest. It is a holistic systematic phenomenon, where words derive meaning within the context of the entire language system, as demonstrated by Ferdinand de Saussure. With this enriched understanding of language, we can begin to perceive that the world in which we are embedded is constantly communicating with us. This world speaks to us and through us continuously, but we have lost the ability to listen. The primary reason for this loss is our literacy. Abram argues that learning to read and write has distanced us from the direct, sensory engagement with the world that oral cultures maintain. In literate cultures, the focus shifts to abstract, theoretical knowledge, and the immediacy of sensory experience diminishes. This shift has profound implications for our connection with the natural world and the other-than-human forms of consciousness that inhabit it. To regain this connection, Abram suggests that we need to cultivate a phenomenological appreciation of language and perception, recognizing the world as an active participant in a continuous dialogue with us. By doing so, we can restore our capacity to listen to the myriad voices of the natural world and re-establish a deeper, more meaningful relationship with the environment. After a digression into phenomenology, he returns to storytelling and the history of literacy. Literacy, he notes, has constrained communication to the human voice emanating from printed pages. We now hear voices and see visions through books, stacks of paper, adorned with small, intricately inscribed black squiggles, allowing us to journey through space and time as we read. For instance, reading Thucydides' The History of the Peloponnesian War becomes a magical, shamanic journey we can undertake at will. However, this spellbinding logomancy comes at a cost. We abandon our bodies to live in our heads, engaging exclusively with human interlocutors. This fosters anthropocentrism and creates dichotomies such as subject-object, mind-body, and nature-culture, a hallmark of Greco-modern Western thought. Moreover, literacy enables abstract thought by separating the meaning form of a word from its audible and visible embodiments. Matter. Abram traces the evolution of literacy, culminating in the Greek alphabet. Paleolithic humans read natural signs, while Neolithic ancestors used pictographs, hieroglyphs, and ideograms. Reading pre-alphabetic scripts, like Hebrew, which lacks vowel representation, requires active interpretation, thus engaging with the world to so create meaning. The breath that produces vowel sounds animates the text, reflecting an ancient belief, where breath air is synonymous with soul, a notion echoed in early Greek philosophy and the etymology of the word spirit. As the Hebrew script evolved into the Greek alphabet, letters became so stylized, they lost their pictorial meanings, becoming mere vehicles for inscribed human speech. Abram also explores alternatives to literate consciousness, found in largely oral cultures, such as those of North American Indians and Australian Aborigines, where the land itself communicates. However, he argues that while we cannot appropriate these cultures, we need to address how to break the spell of spelling. Abram suggests that historiography and phenomenological self-discipline might break this spell, but these solutions seem limited in reach. He overlooks a significant contemporary development, the transformation of communication through television and the Internet. This new electronic mode of communication is supplanting literacy, yet it does not signal a return to orality. The pertinent questions concern the state of the emerging electronic human mind. Will it further alienate us from the more than human world, or help restore our relationship with it?